Research is really relevant to society because I study issues of violence against women primarily. I'm interested in how people make sense of injustice more generally, how they think about the lines between consent and coercion, and how broader cultural ideas, ideologies, discourses inform how people make choices and how they make sense of the choices that they make. One project I'm working on is a film with the Media Education Foundation with my colleague Sut Jolly. And it's actually going to be a follow-up film to Flirting with Danger that we produced a couple of years ago. And this film interviews young men and young women about hookup culture and about how they see the lines between consent and coercion, pleasure and danger, and choice in those relationships. And then another study that I'm doing is actually with an undergraduate student of ours, Caitlin Magnus, about the impacts of federal policies like Title IX and the Clery Act on feminist teaching and research and advocacy. So while those policies are really good news in a lot of ways, they require that faculty and staff report any incidents that we know about involving campus sexual assault. They also can have some problematic implications in terms of shutting down classroom discourse. So if teachers no longer invite students to talk about their own experiences, it might have a real shrinkage of the kinds of issues that people talk about in class and the way that we can theorize about them. So I'm interviewing faculty and staff across the country about how their feminist pedagogy is or isn't changing in light of those policies. Another aspect of my job that I really love is I direct the advising program in the communication department. And I actually see that as social change or social justice work. People come into the university from such different places, many people carrying incredible, often invisible burdens. And those of us who work really closely as advocates with students through advising really are in a position to make the difference with students between whether they leave here as college graduates or whether they leave here as the high school graduates that they came in as. Even though advising sometimes seems like sort of a side task to our research and our teaching, for me, it's really, really a central piece of what I do and how I make sense of my work at the university.